Hello and welcome to Turner Classic Movies. I'm Jacqueline Stewart. Usually I'm here a little later on TCM for Silent Sunday nights. But tonight we have a few extra silent films lined up in honor of National Silent Movie Day. September 29th has been officially designated as a day for celebrating silent cinema. The goal is to present as many silent films in as many venues as possible, and also to raise awareness about the urgent need to preserve the small number of silent films that have survived for a century or more. Tonight, we've got a lineup of movies that have survived for a century. They were all released exactly 100 years ago. Up first, from 1924, we have one of the great masterpieces of silent cinema, really from any era, Erich von Stroheim's Greed. The film was adapted from the novel McTeague, written by Frank Norris in 1899. The epic story follows three characters, McTeague, his wife Trina, and Trina's former fiancé, as their lives are torn apart by jealousy, betrayal, and a lust for money. For director Erich von Stroheim, this adaptation was a passion project, and he threw everything into it. He shot nearly 100 hours of footage on location in San Francisco and the crippling heat of Death Valley. He finished filming after 198 days and then spent months cutting it down to a film that clocked in at 9 hours. But a 9-hour movie was not what the studio had in mind. It was recut several times, at one point getting closer to 4 hours. But MGM's chief of production, Irving Thalberg, insisted on cutting it down even further to a commercial length, just over 2 hours. All of this was a devastating blow to von Stroheim and cinephiles everywhere, especially since much of the cut footage seems to have been destroyed. Still, even in its shorter length, this movie is a masterpiece. The 4-hour version we're about to see was restored by Rick Schmidlin, who was guided by von Stroheim's final working script. Missing scenes were reconstructed using production stills and passages from the original novel, and the film features a new score by Robert Israel. From 1924, starring Gibson Gowland, Zazu Pitts, and Jean Hersholt, here is Greed. Greed was directed by Erich von Stroheim, who had a reputation in Hollywood for going vastly over schedule and over budget with each of his films. Nothing was as extravagant as Greed, and the studio ultimately cut his 9-hour finished film down to just over 2 hours. One of his contemporaries, director Louis Milestone, explained that von Stroheim felt, quote, that his job was to create a motion picture and the cost was the production office's business. Milestone added, they tried to bring him into the framework of the emerging studio picture business. Things were changing, becoming more organized, more controlled than in the earlier days, and von Stroheim couldn't care less. His directing career came to an end within a few years, but von Stroheim continued to work in Hollywood as an actor. Notably, he gave memorable performances in 2 Billy Wilder movies, 5 Graves to Cairo and Sunset Boulevard, for which he earned an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Wilder later recalled meeting him for the first time and told von Stroheim, "You know your problem, Erich, is that you are always 10 years ahead of your time." To which von Stroheim replied, 20. Up next, we have a new restoration of another silent drama from 1924 featuring Richard Barthelmess and Mae McAvoy.
Next on TCM, The Enchanted Cottage, then the saga of Josta Berling, and later, Hot Water. Silence boil over on TCM tonight.